messed up thing your parents made you do that they called tradition. In my family, we had to earn our names by age 16, and if we failed the test, we'd be called disappointment for the rest of our lives while our siblings got beautiful names like Aurora and Phoenix. My parents believed that names were privileges that had to be deserved through proving your worth to the family bloodline. They'd grown up in a cult where children were numbered until they accomplished something significant, and they brought this twisted system into our suburban home. Dad was obsessed with creating superior offspring after being rejected from every graduate program he applied to, while Mom had been the family disappointment in her own childhood and was determined to break the cycle through extreme measures. The name test happened on your 16th birthday and was different for each child, designed around your biggest weakness. My older brother Phoenix had to survive alone in the woods for 30 days because he was too dependent. My sister Aurora had to make $5,000 in 1 month because she was financially irresponsible. I was labeled as too emotional from age 12, so my parents designed the cruelest test possible. I had to choose one family member to permanently cut from my life, write them a letter explaining why I never wanted to see them again, and deliver it in person while they filmed it for proof. Emotional people make weak decisions, Dad explained while handing me the list of family members I could choose from. This will teach you that love is a luxury successful people can't afford. The list included my grandmother who raised me when my parents traveled, my uncle who taught me guitar, and my 8-year-old cousin Emma who looked up to me like a big sister. I had 30 days to decide who to destroy, or I'd become disappointment forever and lose my college fund, my bedroom, and my place at family dinner. My parents started the countdown by removing one photo of me with each potential victim from my room daily, saying I needed to practice emotional detachment. They made me write practice rejection letters to each person, critiquing my drafts for not being cruel enough to ensure permanent separation. The worst part was they invited all 3 potential victims to my 16th birthday party, making me celebrate while knowing I'd soon destroy one of them. My grandmother brought my favorite cake, my uncle played guitar, and Emma gave me a friendship bracelet she'd made, while my parents watched me with anticipation. 2 weeks before the deadline, they escalated the pressure by having Aurora and Phoenix share how liberating it felt to earn their names through suffering. They described the rush of proving themselves worthy and warned me that being called disappointment would mean watching future children get real names while I remained nameless. Choose the weakest one, Aurora advised. Grandma's old anyway, and Emma will get over it because kids are resilient. I realized my parents had created a system where earning love required destroying it, and I couldn't win by playing their game. Instead, I chose the 4th option they hadn't considered. I chose myself. On my 16th birthday, I stood in front of my assembled family and read my letter aloud. But instead of rejecting one of them, I rejected my parents and their twisted system. I told everyone exactly what my parents had forced me to do, and announced I was moving in with my grandmother. I choose to cut the people who think love is earned through cruelty, I said, while my parents' faces went white with rage. My grandmother immediately stood up and said she'd been waiting years for someone to expose their sick games. My uncle revealed he'd been documenting their abuse for child services, and even little Emma said she'd always thought my parents were mean and scary. The room erupted as extended family members shared their own stories of my parents' manipulation and control. My siblings realized they'd been brainwashed into thinking their suffering was normal, and Aurora broke down crying about the trauma her money test had caused. My parents tried to maintain control by threatening to disown me, but I was already walking out the door with my grandmother. They screamed that I'd always be disappointment to them, but I turned around and said, "Good thing your opinion stopped mattering the moment I realized love isn't supposed to hurt." I legally changed my name to Hope when I turned 18, and my siblings eventually followed me to live with relatives who understood that family means protection, not proving yourself worthy of basic human dignity.